Right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We are live indeed. Very excited again, another day. Fambulem this na the TNN TV Media Empire. Today na the 11th of May, 2023. Today is supposed to be a very significant day. Now it occurred to me because once upon a time I was a huge fan of Rastafarianism. Still a huge fan, but in a different sense. So I think say today na either Bob Marley birthday, one of reggae greats. And imagine I forget what's not beginning to forget. So, but I do believe, today na in birthday. So if it is indeed, I want to use the occasion for wish of course he's dead, long and gone, but his birthday is still being celebrated. And what a great icon he was, influenced the world in a lot of ways with his stand-up, his song for liberation, especially during critical time. However, today, at the 11th of May, me when they talk to Una, I'm in Prince Emil Koma. We're on a series of episode them we related to the upcoming general and presidential election in our country. So history is in the making. And obviously, on my side today, I get the rising star, Sekou John, where they help for co-host this program. And in fact, today proceeding, I'm responsible for conduct them. So I'm just on the sideline. Having said this, we get a very special guest where they join me very soon, where they aspire for become a president. They contest on that basis day. And so therefore it's incumbent upon us that we do with due diligence, with duty, as law-abiding citizens, and respect we vocation. So in this regard, I ask Una not touch that dial because they can write back to Una. This na the TNN TV Media Empire. Okay, once more, Pamulemuna, welcome. Massive greetings from the TNN TV Media Empire. We get a guest, still yet for join we in a presidential candidate, but when he come, we'll do the necessary introduction. But for now, while we wait for him, I get Sekou John at studio. Sekou John, greetings to you. How you do, brother?
But Fambulem, una good evening. This na Sekou John Barry, the canto na this evening 10. And we the expect forget we guest when one of the political leaders back home, because I feel say it good for me to get them. Yesterday we been get Dr. Samura Kamara, and today we guest, but we go unveil him when he come. So, but I believe say it's nice for me to get them, make the SSF can talk to una directly, so that we know whose driver we get forget, because they all get in various motor car, they will know, okay, this car, now this also driver, nine get this motor car, nine they drive this motor car. So it's fine for me to get them.
Absolutely, and I like one or two jargons the way you use you say unveil, with the unveil we guest. I like that very much. We will be unveiling the guest. And secondly, they're all not drivers, so they can't scrutinize them because they all get different motor car when they drive. Some of them are motor car the way you get for push, jog start, where you push, and so if the driver no understands in a jog start motor car, then you can't start the motor car. Others then a fresh motor car, na press button, na ignition key and things like that. But on a more serious note, there's a lot happening. Sekou John, what you view so far as you observe, as we march towards election? There's a lot been happening. Recently, we talk about a few things. The invitation of the presidency for come visit the coronation or witness the coronation of King Charles III, and then the Commonwealth Conference, of heads of state, and on the side meetings, with apparently the opposition leader, Dr. Samura Kamara, the interview we hold with Dr. Samura Kamara, all of these things, and you're a great observer. Your perspective, please.
Yeah, so you know, as we get closer to the elections, things are becoming interesting. But some of us were a bit disappointed because I've been getting letter with them being right with the Commonwealth be right to the opposition leader, winner Dr. Samura Kamara. We then say been supposed for them in a roundtable meeting for discourse with the president, then for discourse about democracy and other stuff together, you know, on a round table. But unfortunately, that not happen. We see the president nine force being a meeting with the Commonwealth Secretariat, and then later we see Dr. Sabura Kamara, but we not been get any explanation as to why they not be able for Sidom, you know, for Sidom talk, because they are leaders, even though people can get different views, say, well, nobody not for invite the president out of the country for say, okay, come meet with the opposition leader. Would that be one for do that if we don't go back Sierra Leone or call them together? But since they all been on there, I think say for done nice if they be able to sit down together and talk whatever differences or talk on whatever issues they may get. But I believe say that other lost opportunity for make them for sit down together and discuss national issues in front of dignitaries them.
Okay, Famulem, as we tell you now, we guest don't sign on, and we go bring and come on very soon. It's not on video yet, but I can see in avatar, if we can call on that way. But at least we know say he's with us. That alone is assuring. And we want to say thank you very much. As soon as we get the signal that we're able to communicate with them, we go do the introduction. In the meantime, of course, the man just they try for settle down. So please bear with us. As soon as he's ready and he give me the signal, we go introduce him and then we go take the show from there. Second John, in continuation of the conversation that we are having so far on the election trail, how you see things they go both for the two major parties, the All People's Congress and the Sierra Leone People's Party. How you see things they go, especially where they see the defection and get new name and where they give themselves now, whether not progressive alliance, whether not join them go join, whether not shift then shift, or not turn about and turn about. But in times gone, you know, yeah, they will be called defection. People that defect.
Yeah, no. Well, yeah, it's like I said earlier, it's getting interesting, and we see movement here and there. But I think voting day first now. The past week we see then they try for nominate them MPs them then thing, but I think say we don't get who guest with we. Yeah. So I think say we get for usher them in anyway.
Absolutely, and Fambulem is such an exciting moment, and like we say, the episode, the continuation of the race, or for the race for State House, it continue. As Sierra Leoneans, they get for make a decision in a short period of time. No, it's just a matter of weeks now. And in this endeavor, we entertain a lot of stakeholders, people them with intention for lead we country or lend their credence to the process in itself. And as such, one person where we get today, a young man who goes by the name of BERESFORD Victor Williams, when we guest, and he's a presidential aspirant for the June 24 general and presidential elections. They represent a party where I believe is called ReNIP, for short, I believe now the acronym. So BERESFORD, without much ado, welcome to the program. Welcome to the Den and Now for the very first time and a very special time. I just want to go straight into it. If you can just introduce yourself furthermore, tell Fambulem who you are, and waiting at this ReNIP, and waiting they be in ReNIP, waiting at the meaning of ReNIP, and waiting they be in ReNIP.
Yeah, first of all, I want to use the opportunity for greet all man way any side when I'm fairness in the world. I want to say good evening, good afternoon, Tona. ReNIP is a political party we actually found back in 2017/18. We actually become a qualified political party when I give away certificates back in 2018, January 2018. So we just barely met the deadline for contest the election, which we did. From so far, we come together. The main reason we to make we come together and for help the people of Sierra Leone. Help in a nutshell that I mean, go on a tongue day and then I can see the way people in the struggle. Beer water second day. So that be encouraged me from make we begin. They provide boreholes them at certain areas them. And not to just the areas them as well, but we also provide schooling for the school picking them as well. When they do way become part of the flagship way SLPP then begin use as well. But all aside, put that all that aside, we don't actually help quite a lot of people. We in a maternity ward them. We because one thing women go there and notice some young girls them or young women them when they're getting pickings and they're not be able to get clothes for them. So with that, able for rally most of my friends them where we able for come together and then provide that for them. So be able for give them some clothes them. And when the epidemic back in day, the corona virus been there around, we also make some donation to the government. I think that we're gonna be the first organization we actually make a donation to the country for make they able for beginning put bucket and water there around for help for control the virus in itself. A little bit background about me. I'm the leader and chairman of the Republic National Independence Party, ReNIP, which we just basically call the acronym name ReNIP. In a nutshell, we actually a socialism political party. People will now understand socialism. A party we actually work with the community, and we believe that we for able for industrialize quite a lot where the state for able for look after its people rather than the people look after the state. So that ideology that we get, we did quite around. As time goes on, I will talk a little bit more about your policies, maybe go a few other questions. I hope say that now a quick rundown about myself and as well as the political party.
Well, lovely, lovely, Beresford, and many thanks, for that brief introduction. And let's just get back or dig deep into this. So you've been involved, or your party has been involved in social services, and even though those causes are kind of noble and everything needs a kind of a start, but this is just a dip in the frying pan. It's just a minor, like a tiny grain of sand when you look at with problems. Is that why you're seeking political power? Are you into this to win it, or you just want to make up the numbers?
Well, we not a number game with a play. We there literally for make sure say we able to give people a more platform and then give them alternatives. Because I remember back in 2016 when most people they actually contest. Sorry, in 2018 when most people they contest the election. At that time, most people simply say they don't want APC anymore. They want SLPP because there was no alternative at that time. So and now they go on alternative. The alternative now ReNIP. With ReNIP economic powerhouse policies, I think saying that we stand above the rest. Not just simply because I lead ReNIP, but most of we members them are very smart, educated, with full of integrity and accountability. Even my own profession way may they do in itself are still the reports to other people. So integrity is something that we actually drives on. During the process, we get political parties, political members then, or other political party members from other parties where one can join ReNIP, so we can screen members then. And in virtue of that, they don't already be in government. We see that as a stumbling block. So we say we're not interested because you for already make a difference when you mean data, not to where we come up with the policies then. So we don't need any well, like you always say, you don't need somebody for carry up then condo fats by you. So in essence, we stay clean, we in a very clean political party, and all members then very hands to do. And some of the policies they more done designed for the country, where I will touch based on more or less we did look for reduce the cost of living in Sierra Leone. Look at the two parties then. Do I believe that they're able to do that? No. Why I would say so? Because they have the opportunity for Duam, but they not Duam. So not when somebody can't do something, you will say, yes, I will be able for Duam. It's just like if they run 100 meters race, you're not able to win the race. Now when so with somebody they come now we get all the sprints, you will simply say, yes, I'm still able to win the race. I don't think it's possible. So we know that they for play the game. They come for make a massive improvement in the country. We ask for.
Okay, Mr. Williams, thank you very much. I just want to take you back to a coverage where in newspaper do detail where them just elect you, whether they elect you for be the leader of this your political party. So in your victory or message, you say you glad this are the quote from the report where you say okay, you express gratitude where they repose confidence in you, and then you say you're ready for run the country, and the convention na a clear indication that wanna prepare for lead the country. So how prepared are you guys to lead Sierra Leone?
Well, we're very prepared. In a nutshell, we a political party. We cover a very diverse spectrum in itself. Preparation come in various forms. From my own side, me tend to work mainly on the socio-economic finance area. For the social welfare, we got people where they specialize in that area. In the area of welfare development, we got people who specialize in that. We not come for simply say we in a one man we go lead everything, but various angle, various people. We're very well diverse, very well on the ball for rule Sierra Leone. Not to just say for rule Sierra Leone, but in the first 90 days, you foresee say prices of the main stable food and for them begin can down. And then things like rice, fuel. We propose that we can reduce the price of fuel, which I mean talk on the speech itself, that we go reduce the prices to 14,000 leones. And rice for condom in the spectrum at the moment, most people in the simply say that Ukraine war will not believe saying that Ukraine war, because if you look like a Philippines, then go over 10,000 tons of rice with an excess, when they produce practically every 3 months. So we believe that we're able for rule Sierra Leone, and not to just rule. We not believe in rule, but we believe in able for manage the country resources and bring benefits to the people. Let's put everything aside. If we look in itself on that speech where you quoted, I actually say that the minimum wage should be increased to 1 million, 1.5 million. What you make a do that, because okay. I'll be able to give the statistics.
Sorry for interrupt you. You don't talk a lot, like more or less. It's like you read from voting the past politician and don't say like the same promises. You know, just making lofty promises. But now you not tell me, because you say you reduce fuel price, and then now Correct. You talk about price control, reducing
Correct.
taxes. But now, for example, you know, say some of the factors the way they make fuel they increase. Now some percentage where the companies and they pay to government. So if you decide for cut that amount, how you go pull money for block that side back?
Well, a very good question you ask me, because we don't design a policy. Yes, Sierra Leone and they collect, in effect, the tax rate and they collect on the fuel duty itself now 56%, and then they collect. In view of that, yeah, there's a certain commission that they give back to the government on that angle. But you go waiting before the government may give subsidies. Because then they borrow too much, the international world actually cuts that off. The government say they're not for the give subsidies again. So that actually come off just before the last election in 2018. So Now let we look back in the part from 2000 to 2018. They may they subsidize. There be subsidies where may they go. Then they receive revenue. That revenue they been supposed for what you call the ring fence that revenue there. When we say they give subsidies or we they reduce the prices, the actual price, if you look for fuel in most places per liter, now roughly about 56 cents, anything between 32 cents to 56 cents, depending on the transportation, how you transport them, and then some of the internal taxes we get put in. If you look places like Russia, where they get oil, Sierra Leone not so now a country where they depend on other people for certain things. Then we get refinery where we be actually sell. We normally use. Then you go oil product, petroleum. When they start to use that, then go actually listen from the government. What to make we not utilize resources. So now some of the areas then this was so we know they make lofty promise. Let me not say me know they make lofty promise. If I say something, now something we're able for say yes, are able for deliver. How we go able for deliver? Then price control also. Price control now it's in way each government, any government will ready for look after in people then they actually make sure say then take care of that. We'll take for practical example now. This is not just a practical example. This is not to a top-notch country. This now a country don't begin fight war from in the 40s. They don't know peace. Let's take for example Afghanistan. And they don't know peace. But they feel when they sell that in country, they actually sell them 87 cents. Then they sell them 87 cents. And the 87 cents, where you equivalent that to the dollar, it works out to be roughly about 43 cents. Yeah. So we believe, say, we be able to deliver. They don't get refinery. They don't know what's in a piece. They don't get port. We get certain things them we take for granted, but because of we actually know they take responsibility, then they also don't begin to come as a massive obstacle to win. Will we now believe, say any politician we can tell us something I would they accept? But in reality, we for begin look outside the box. Like for me, so me don't work with top organizations them who are able for deliver most of them plans them. Are we able for deliver them plans there? So not to say because of say we just come and say one for deliver, or because we think say okay, Sierra Leone we they in struggle, so we come in for a purpose, and that purpose then for can redeem the people. How would they redeem the people? One, by creating price control. Sierra Leone get price control. Number two, would they say the resources of the land is being mismanaged. Not so yesterday they begin mismanage the resources of the land. From the 70s, then they mismanage that.
So
yes, we get politicians.
Why you think say they're not able to introduce this, they're not able to implement this price control? What think you feel say are the reasons? And then why you feel say you go able to come do waiting then no able to? Because we don't see SAPC being come, they're not able, SAPP, we not see anything regarding that. Why you feel say your political party go able to succeed? Who side the war don't fail?
Well, it's quite simple. If you look, okay, I will not can call name in itself, but middle rights paper where a country they go into recession, we're able to pull them from recession. It's very simple in Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone now roughly about 8 million, let's say give or take. Let's say 9 million. The 9 million in itself, now a very small country will be able to manage all the resources. We get country that when they not even get no minerals, they not get nothing, but then prosperous. Yeah, we get city of London, Paris, New York. You know, this then city has them big past Sierra Leone put together. When they're able to manage things, the way which Usami thinks say the fault there is that they're not able to manage the socio-economic finance background. The socio-economic finance background. Now, for example, when they go borrow, they're not able to calculate at what rate them for able to borrow money. You not just to go borrow money, say because I need cash. No, you go borrow money with the intention for paying back, but you for able to calculate your work. Yeah, if you're not able to calculate your weighted average, you're not able to calculate interest rate. So anything we tell you, you're not gonna know the percentage rate for begin work on first. Now the number one point that one day. Point number two, you look across the spectrum. Yeah, APC and can and try, they're not able. SLPP and can and try, they're not able. But nobody not able to see what's I mean the fundamental problem. The fundamental problem is this: that one, we get so much slack in any economy. The powerhouse, the economic powerhouse, is the youth. When you see you get youth them we lack skills, they lack employment.
Mr. Williams, I think I'm not sure whether you are on track. We ask specifically on price control, how you political party, let's say if they vote for you after June, you become the president, how you go implement this price control? How? Let's stick on the question, sir.
Okay, sorry, I thought you meant our cable for turn around the country when you say parts of that price control. Okay, on the price control itself, on the price control, waiting we intended to do one, the main stable food then, where they come inside the country, we introduce what we call free port. Yeah, now we get with port. So anything we have to do with food stuff, we introduce that. And we know when you carry that, we go on saying, okay, this is not the price. You carry with one bag rest, we carry with rest, we simply say the rest for selling rest, say 400. Yeah, they know they pay duties. We know how much they buy the rest. If not able to do that, the government is able to set up a corporations where the government, we set them to do them, bring them we own food, we order them from abroad, bring them inside the country. Most governments that's what they do. Outside the commercial companies, they're not able to do that. The government is stepping, whether or not developed countries or underdeveloped. Then they don't happen in South Africa, it don't happen in Zimbabwe, it don't happen in Nigeria, Ghana. So even America, it don't happen there. Europe, it don't happen as well. So not to all products, commercial companies then go able for order inside. So outside that shortfall there, the government supposed to step in. So when you order, then you get price control is simple and easy on that. If you take with mothership, we call it mothership, Britain, and then colonize we most time than the principles then we can follow. If you take like a Britain, what waiting to happen? Waiting make if you see say where price been the rise, say food prices been the rise, and fuel prices been the rise. The government step in. They say no. They actually freeze the price, then freeze and then simply say, okay, if there's a shortfall, we go pick that shortfall there up. But outside companies then fail for bring fuel in, the government bring fuel in. Outside food being short in a supermarket, the government actually employ people then drive the lorry them from Poland across the channel for bring food and car inside the country. So a progressive government, they make sure say them people not go out of anything. Then they establish price control. So now some of the mechanics standard we get for introduce price control.
How you go achieve that if government don't get money for do that thing in it?
Well, at this now with problem because we always think say you need money for do something. You don't need money for do everything. Because a government in itself get 3 streams of cash in itself. One, if you get the knowledge and know-how, it's very simple. It's just like a way they now say you need money for cook, but you don't need big money for make you get delicious food. You can make a nutritious food compared to somebody who get more money past you. So the 3 streams of cash is that the government can always get cash by taxation. They can also get tax by borrowing. They can also get cash by borrowing. Yeah. Or another method we propose is that we levy a one-off corporation tax on big institutions then for finance some of the projects then. Because not to just price control we get for Cambridge inside there, we look for also introduce infrastructural development. When you look at Sierra Leone don't get independent from 1962, now 62 years, 1962, 63. Yeah, now about 62 years, now Sierra Leone, let's say 60, give or take. But Sierra Leone, a very progressive country back in the 18th and 19th century before we're independent. Now, if you put a stop mark there, look country now, like a Ghana, Nigeria, Singapore. Even Singapore being the below we when we go with independency, because when Singapore get the independence more or less the same year, around about the same time. But you look at Singapore now, the structure, the infrastructure, and compared to Sierra Leone infrastructure, Sierra Leone look like still like a giant village. We not move from that time where colonial master left with to now. The world don't change. Now we talk about big data. You go talk about big data in Sierra Leone, some people in the look you, what they talk about? They say, man, we don't even get food. So we get for trend we say to waiting the happen na the wall and able we not say we get for follow them accordingly, but we say get we own plan, we projectory. And we projectory not to just say we get the price control, but also the infrastructure development. You know, long-term sustainability we look for.
So let me take you back to the economy. You know the status of the economy at the moment. It's very like good at all. Like people in the southern of the country, like what in your party go do? Let's say them vote for you June 24th. What in you go do for reverse the hardship within the country? What in whose long and short-term plans you get for reverse the situation?
Well, we got more or less the sustainability development plan. So the short-term plan, Dynamic will say in the first 90 days, because we not going to expect people and we they know get energy for make them able to become a producer. So some of the short-term plans that we will introduce is that one, we introduce the price control, two, we introduce the free port, and three, we introduce what you call the hybrid economic system, where the youth then when we call them the needs. So needs now not in education, employment, or training, now needs. So we they make sure see then people as we capture them. Well, no, I mean capture, no like arrest them, but we get them on, we list them, then we begin to provide apprenticeship for them. And some of them people are very smart people, and due to some maybe economic calamity or something happen that then drop out. But some of them keep able to invent stuff, and we they look for introduce the long-term sustainability. We they look for introduce industries then where we go specialize for produce something. Take for example Taiwan. Taiwan, a very small country made up of roughly about 4-5 million people. Some people they say that number they higher past that. Some people say they stand at 12 million. But let's just take for example, Taiwan not get nothing. They not get no resources, not get nothing. But Taiwan specialized for one green thing, and for make semiconductors. They like it today. Taiwan can boast that they get fleet carriers, then get jets. Sierra Leone able for boast and they even with maritime, where we supposed for secure we border the water, the border. We're able to secure that. So now some of them things that we get for look at the long term, or the short term is the first 90 days is that food prices for condom. People are able to eat. Inside that 10 days, people are able to go register for begin the training, which they call apprenticeship. So if they go land trade, some people can go into agriculture, some people can go into medicine, some people can go into dentistry, some people can go into nursing. All this not way selling the lack. People, if you sick now for to take, you go hospital. I guarantee you 9 out of 10 the possible they go look after you na foreigner. And some of them foreigners there so they not actually do background checks on them. Some of them not kick them out. They malpractice, then do not their own country or other country, then they cancel you. I can give a practical example, but I'm not calling it. They talk to the guy, they actually cancel a license. Now in your own country, come on, then cancel and they. It cannot say you. Ura call and cannot say you. He said, "I'm party, I'm call and say cannot say you. It cannot say you. It can open hospital. And in the man not qualified enough He say they call all the doctors, they let them come. So these are some of the loopholes the way with people in the software, where we get for able for combat the areas they are so. And not to just say we provide food stuff, that they paramount, I agree. Long-term sustainability, paramount, I agree. But also we for look after we life. So now we apprenticeship, you learn. If you want to be doctor, you able for be doctor, I guarantee you within 3 years. How you go do them? Yes, you go put in the time. But it's possible. We don't see that they don't happen in the UK. We didn't call fast track. We can able to do that. We don't look into that if possible. We got some good doctors then who want to return back to Sierra Leone. Then say the country sober, then they come. I get doctor party them. Most of them. One of the top surgeon na London. Na Sierra Leonean.
Okay, Mr. Williams, thank you very much. Make I just take you back again a bit. Like you see the inflation where they happen, the dollar, the leons don't almost die. So waiting are you take on that, and then how you feel say you were able to make Williams come to life? Because even now, imagine the Guinea money, where for the past 40 or so years, we Salon money not ever drop. Guinea money not ever value past Salon money, but this not the first time we Guinea money value past Sierra Leone, the Leones. So how you go able for reverse that trend?
I mean, first of all, waiting to make you currency drop, because one, you're not able to provide any sustainability. So sustainability is that they bring in more than what they export out. Now one of the reasons, and the two, inflation in the country too high. So people and they lost confidence in your currency. Now they drop down there. And number three, it can be purposefully devalued. So a government or the bank, the central bank, can devalue the currency in itself. So let's assume that everything is equal in the market. Then now a barter system. So if they get more demand for your currency, your value they go up. If you get less demand, people are not go buy. And so then if you want more of something else, then the currency they drop. For correct that, now three things you get for do. One, you get for increase your reserves. At the moment, I don't know what's in the reserves, so I'm not going for comment specifically on the reserves where we all. Number two, you get for able to produce increased productivity. You know, when you say increased productivity, you're able to sell something where they're able to get a foreign currency rather than a local currency. So then they can help for control and then three, you get what we can call the LIBOR mechanics. Well, the LIBOR mechanics, the Bank of England, they don't drop that one day. So you don't get to use them too much now. So what's happening now? Now a free fall mechanics then they use. So before they use the LIBOR mechanics. Now you get the dollarization. You also get the yen. You got the euro. So you get to look at all the markets there. So you get to go back. If you want to go towards money, then go tell you say devalue money. You don't need for devalue money as long as you're able to calculate the interest rate. So then they help for generate back a value on the currency. Let's put everything, let's say all fail. Yeah, all fail. But you still get for byproduct out. You can also do what we call if say for example now, like you want to get less. Rather than you get importers, then they didn't go there and source them loan out, you can create what we call like a chamber. So everybody they come inside and put in cash, then you buy in bulk.
Okay, sorry, sir. Sorry to interrupt you, but it's like we they ask you now, you as a political leader, waiting you get, because now what you are telling us is just you are just terrorizing, you give it theory of waiting. So one knows specifically so that tomorrow when you are elected, we will able for hold you to account, say you've been tell we say that this you they do for reduce this inflation where they happen at the country, and for now this you've been promised we say you get for do for make Williams value, because we know say one all man know say we know they manufacture things in Sierra Leone. So for make we able get that foreign exchange very, because we not get much what they export. So now what you get for those mechanism you get for come with, so that we go able for maybe export things them, or how you get for build factories for you know, you they strengthen the agricultural sector, so that we, you know, another thing, and the what are the tangible promises them we want from you.
Well, I mean, they explain to you, not to the theories, I mean, they just they tell you, I mean, they tell you the practicality as well. I tell you, say, we actually set up a chamber where people, if they want for order stuff, you know, just they go and order. So you go through the chamber, then you order in bulk. Then in a one way for control that. Two, you know, just the exports. Sierra Leone, all with minerals and they export them, but we know they get no reserves, go they come back in. When they want for pay with them, they pay with in Leones. Then they stop. Number three, the agricultural business itself. Me not to a great fan of agricultural business for let any country develop. I am a great fan of industrialization. I believe in that 100%. Agricultural like a paramount for the nation. So the government can handle the agricultural and the industrialization. But then we depend a key component we will specialize in. Within 3 months, we will begin build a factory, get the machinery then come inside. We don't actually IMAC certain key components then. We will be able to begin the export out. We will begin to bring in the pounds, the dollar, the euros. You there with me? So yes, we get that mechanism there in place, not to just the theory side. The good may you understand the theory, but the practicality in itself, now able to implement them, and we able to implement them. Now me come and talk before say we go find we don't get a product that we will specialize in. We with that we for able to deliver what we want. Now the country is simple and straightforward with we. So another part that I would use for bring calm down for make we get the value back of the money to usai immediate or even strengthen them. Because I remember back in 2018, you know, they talk about a dollar now being 8,000. Now they talk about 24,000. You know, now almost 150%, 160%. You know, possible inside 5 years. There's so something going on.
What in your assessment, you know, in relation to the current government? What in your assessment?
Well, the assessment in itself, it speaks for itself. You understand? I mean, even if Christmas, if they cry angry, I know when they see Christmas cry, say, you know, angry boku na the country. One day, no sign of the world. When sailing at the first place for area. So, not to make it for can tell. All man knows say thing not they go according to plan. So now make me the plead to the people for make them able for believe in me and believe in waiting we get for the country for deliver. We get what you call the hybrid economic system, where I guarantee you see 90% of the population go be employed, either employed by the commercial industry or by the government, but you will be employed. And we also believe that we can able for doing that hybrid economic system there. Now they people in back then they able for land skills them, and they able for develop the homes them where we call the economic development and social development as well. So if you look, most people and then live in shacks, you know, Pambodi. We don't pass that level. They say we don't pass that level. They long term. You know, if now Tiwo they roll out, we roll them out. If we get to change the houses, then we change them. Water for the run. Then water for you know for the go buy water. The water say for the buy. You know, people and they say you get typhoid, you get this, you get that. So, you know, so for the happen in the 21st century.
All them promises. All them promises here. How many years if you say it would take for make you achieve them?
Well, the hybrid economic system now a 15-year plan policy. We don't ask all the political parties then where we come up with because we actually come up with we actually now we stumble upon them when we put two policies then together. And we call them so that roughly about 2.5 years ago now we call them, we don't write to them, for we get like a conference. People in the turn them down. They're not interested. 2 years ago, we call them, we don't write to them. For we get like a conference. People in the turn them down. They're not interested. 2 years ago, we call them, we don't write to them. For we get like a conference. People in the turn them down. They're not interested. 2 years ago, we call them, we don't write to them. For we get like a conference. People in the turn them down. They're not interested. 2 years ago, we call them, we don't write to them. For we get like a conference. People in the turn them down. They're not interested. 2 years ago, we call them, we don't write to them. For we get like a conference. People in the turn them down. They're not interested. 2 years ago, we call them, we don't write to them. For we get like a conference. People in the turn them down. They're not interested. 2 years ago, we call them, we don't write to them. For we get like a conference. People in the turn them down. They're not interested. 2 years ago, we call them, we don't write to Whether they don't understand the system or they're just not interested. But the hybrid economic system, a 15-year plan project, within the first 3 years, you foresee a massive change. And then the remainder 12 years, now what we call now the sustainability development. So then in that tending that you begin to change infrastructures then. When was the last time we put 10-story building up? When was the last time we put 15-story building up? When was the last time we upgrade the banking system? When was the last time we actually check with the regulation to make sure it actually meets the global financial regulation? When was the last time they actually able to see if we able for begin do derivatives like in Nigeria and Ghana? We able for they can get excess cash. Where we able for give them some collateral, then give you some cash. When was the last time? So now make the infrastructural development there. So now the long-term sustainability, but for the short term, we get a quick fix. 90 days, I guarantee you, baggers the candom, share the candom. Within that 10 days, we put in place within 6 months, free port for begin operates, or maybe even sooner than that.
Okay, Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams,
yes,
thank you very much. We will still like for remind viewers that they listen to the then and now media empire. So we get we guest here, we now Mr. Williams, we now head of a political party, we now more or less a newly registered political party. So whose partner the country be you stronghold? Because like we APC, for example, we know that the Northwest, the SAPP, then say at the Southeast. So whose side are you stronghold?
Well, in theory, we own stronghold. We get quite a lot of members across Kenema, Boo, Falaba, Koinadugu, the area there. We degenerate now more in the western area as well. In view of say stronghold, Kailan we kick up and then for some reason we drop down it again. So we try for sustain we membership grip as well. So to answer your question, we look say Kenema, Bo, Falaba, Koinadugu, and even put local because even Falaba and Koinadugu we feel in there easily, which remembers them. Kenema, they may get some small issue there with the electoral process. We tell some members them for change, then they side and go register. To be honest, I know I asked opt now, but I asked for the report. I don't see the report. Then see them begin a letter. So now all in small thing there. So we face.
Sorry for interrupting again and for asking you this personal question. Are you in Freetown or in the UK at the moment?
At the moment, I'm in Freetown.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, thanks for that. Because like now you see the tribalism where they go to the country, the division where they happen at the country. So what do you get for do, like for breach that problem, this division within our societies? What do you party get for do?
And a critical problem necessarily. We don't stem back from the 70s. What in ReNIP believe in? ReNIP not believe in tribes and will not believe in gender. So we're gender neutral, we're tribe neutral. Most of the key people they come from various tribes where we all work together, you know, whether it be Mende, Timini, Kuranko, Madingo, Fulani, you know, we all work together. And even we the regional chairman Nabu na how you call them, non-able body in itself. So we quite neutral. Really at the party we not believe in tribe. And me personally believe that the tribalism we say in the face, we not just the face standing, but with the face we an institutional racism or tribalism, me call it racism. in a nutshell, because when you discriminate against another type of person, it's racism, whether you want to call them tribe or anything, but it's still racism. Yes, we blacks can still discriminate. What make us in institutional racism or tribalism is that if you fill any official form, Natong, then they ask you for the right to tribe there. Then they ask you for right to tribe. What in do? When I check my birth certificate, I not see tribe there. So what in whose tribe are you? That a dialect, you can talk different languages then. It no means say you not this or that. Now, if you want to get rid of that problem there, the institutional racism, 9 out of 10, you don't combat the tribalism. That is number one. Number two, now make ReNIP now a neutral party. We not believe in tribe, we not believe in gender base. We believe in abilities for you to able to produce and deliver. Then we believe in. So that make who they ask members then, people who get for votes, make the length with them vote. Let them vote for ReNIP. Let the length with them vote and see. If I not deliver, you take your votes back. But me believe say the only party we able to unite Sierra Leone this moment in time. Now ReNIP, Republic National Independent Party. Yes, some man will say, okay, now your party will say that. But no. If I lined up all the executive members then, if they see some member, then they up now northwest, then they now east, then they south, then the western area. So we cover everything, and when we get meeting them, everybody talk to everybody with full respect. One day I not see somebody say something against with somebody else, they feel infuriated.
I want quote for you a line from an interview where you make with one of the newspapers back home, where they call the Calabash, and then wait and say you dey pursue a unique style of constructive opposition, and then how you don't ever engage, you don't ever do this constructive opposition in the past years. You don't ever engage the government, like provide solutions to the problems in these past years.
Well, with actually, if you look, most of the newspapers, yes, most of we policies that we don't engage with the government. One, now for increase the minimum wage. The minimum wage, for God's sake, are 600,000. It don't do it for so long that people are not even remember again the dates where them passed that law. Look, you yourself know the inflation. It rise like a Bulgari. Since I say the rise past Bulgari now. So we don't engage the government for increased minimum wage. Even in Calabash, they don't publish on that time and time. We don't get members, they don't go talk to the Ministry of Internal Affairs. We don't go talk to employment. We don't even send people and delegates to talk to the president's office. We even write a private member bill, send and go to parliament. They're not debater. We not the all party back. We actually say that the government for hold on to the fuel price for reduce and to 14,000. If they get forgive we sanction or penalties from the international committee, mainly World Bank or IMF, let we take comfort with people. Let we come to some agreement. England, America.
But sorry with that. Government, like you be say earlier on, I believe say the APC been get similar problems. Where I think it was the IMF where they say for these subsidies, for drop down the subsidies, and then say mainly government they get funding from the IMF, whether not through loans or other stuff. But how you go say you go challenge it and them? How you feel say you go survive?
Okay, let me tell you now simply, why if you run a company, they always the borrow, they pay, then you don't bankrupt, then they lend you again. A country not go happen with that. But what can happen is that the same thing is that when they give them the rates, then when they borrow excessively above waiting and need for do. So that they create issues. So waiting, we actually propose that for make sure say they go for combat the issues the way that they face and how you go able to combat the issues there. So one, yes, when you want borrow, And then we'll simply say, well, because you get for repay back this debt, if you borrow more than you want, then we'll say you get for repay this debt. Because if you remember, actually we talk about touch base on this, that you get for able to calculate your interest rates. So if you're able to calculate that, then it tells you, well, at 45%. So if they tell you 45% is excessive, where at the time when they go borrow, the rate for government, 4%. You understand? So then borrow more at 45%, where the rate at 4%. So they not lost 41% there. And that's a huge amount down there when you calculate it over the period of time. So then number one. Number two is that when you do a subsidy like that, you don't get for do a long term without you having the revenue for back that up. So you're not gonna go borrow money for campaign that problem there. You know the do.
So
you know the
go pull now the revenue for back of that.
If you remember, I already explained to you on that. One, with the levy taxation on big corporations, then will they get money from them? Yeah, then they happen in any country. You get for subsidize the country. Number two, will they nationalize some of the key industries in Sierra Leone? Key industries then.
But that also go be it go create some kind of negative effect, because now how can you levy taxes on big companies where you will not even get big companies then as well? So the one then the 2 or 3 or 4 way you tax them, you give them heavy levy, you know, if you say them go left.
Okay, let's explain this to you. When you did tax big corporations, then it levy on them. Yeah. So you get various ways to provide you levy on them. Sierra Leone not get big corporations then, but we'll go giant corporations that within Sierra Leone. We don't pay tax. Yes. And from my own circuit, also I may come from, or my profession, are able for trail that. So me able for know that. So me able for levy on that. So it's simple for me. Not to say it creates a negativity. In fact, then they embrace them. You go see, say, other corporation and go come inside. What you do? Because not to just say you levy the tax, we get for change the regime. The legal system is not fit for purpose in Sierra Leone for businesses. You know, go get a business dispute, it takes you 2 years. Na court. It's not possible. Within 3 months, that for a resolve. So the judicial system itself get to be reformed. So there's going to be a lot of reform.
I think they don't pass what you call the arbitration law, right?
It's too late. It's too late because we don't call for that. They're still using an old colonial master rule laws. We're not fit for 21st century. It's not fit for purpose. You cannot be a barrister and a solicitor. You cannot. You have to choose one. So you see, the thing's not fit for purpose. So we need ready for actually break the legal system up, that we get barristers and solicitors, and the judges has to be qualified as well.
Yeah,
they have to be fully independent.
How then they connected with settling, let's say, business disputes?
Okay, well, how we go able for settle it is that you got a specialist court there. So courts where they deal with businesses, day in, day out, they're able to speed up quickly.
Yeah, but
and you ask me how. No, you ask me how we able for raise the cash. So I'd explain to you, because when we levy there,
because you don't go into you've entered a territory, like saying you talk about the okay, barrister and then solicitors, right? But now what you will be the try for talk about dispute resolutions. Now I tell you, say they don't form, like they don't pass a law with that arbitration law where they able expedite. So when the country with other company, then maybe then get issues, we get what is if they will get caught them back. I think they will get this commercial court something. We get an asalo, isn't it?
You're going commercial court there, yeah, but then it take time. The arbitration, not to court.
Yeah, I know say that not to court. I know say that they for settle some dispute through different legal
media. Correct. Yeah. Not like a mediation.
Yeah.
So the arbitration are like a mediation.
Yeah, so what we dey try for know now? If, for example, now we not get boku companies them, because even the mining companies there, you see what happen with the SFPP camp, we see the problem we happen court cases. So now, if you they talk about levying taxes to the big corporations or corporate institutions, if we not get them now, we not get them sufficient. So the way they manage, we can't levy heavy tax on them. We not fit say then they pull out. That is the question.
No, they're not they pull out. I don't explain to you the reason why they're not going to pull out. Most of them only pay tax, and two, the country they get a lot more than they claim. Yeah. So when you levy these taxes, there is that you got a parent company, and when you see, the funny thing is that most people believe say taxation it paralyze companies. Then no, most people want to be like say for them and see them say yes, and they give back to the society. And one of the way we can do by taxation. And I make a simply say you go see more company want to come inside, because at that time the way they do them is that you don't open the space. So by opening the space, then they mean say if they get any dispute, they not believe say we charge them correctly, then can either go via the arbitration, when they will choose for no do, or then go via the court. And the court get to be independent. If you remember, I use the word independent. So without that, then go feel say they don't already had done. But if you able to do something more transparent, simply say, well, would they look for develop this country? Now this would they do. Other countries they don't do them. When they get difficulties, then they levy taxes on corporations. Then they do them. So yes, Sierra Leone, we said not go simply just sit down and say, well, then go run away. No, then they run away. Then they tell you for nothing. If they get more company inside, island, where you see so island, then they levy taxes on companies then. When they have to. France, they levy taxes on certain specific areas then. That's what we know. So that is easy.
What do you government go do for attract more investors in the country?
Well, we already put in place because when we talk to most of investors them around, the main issue na the legal system is not transparent. There's no segregation of duties. There's no independency. You understand? A court has to be fully independent. Yes, I understand, say, as a president, you can appoint a chief justice. Yeah, maybe in a process where we can change. Let it done by voting. Who qualified gets it. Yeah, and then maybe I can just put my signature to that. If you go in any developed countries, let's say, for example, now Madagascar. Madagascar is a very small country, less than 1 million. Botswana, less than 2 million. But if you go to that country, then the legal system can withstand any pressure from any developed country. Even you bring the best brain, they're still able to withstand that. They're not different more than me and you. They're been there under slavery. But then development system, waiting to because somebody get a vision. Not a vision. Not to see where people go say that big, you can't big talk them, big plan, and lofty promise system. Yes. But you need to get a dream. With the man who's no dream is a dead man. You cannot achieve nothing without the dream. So me believe that he will be able to achieve. So once we get the legal system, the investors then, you ask the question, I finished that. The investors then see one, the legal system. Number two, the infrastructure. Now this country not able to withstand pressure. What do you mean by the infrastructure? In Sierra Leone, the internet not function properly. The government's been the try for this internet. Anything go down on the wall on internet. You understand? People are data and still a buy. Corporation needs proper internet where they connect, where they go into, and able for make sure say it work accordingly. I didn't not talk now. I mean, phone I they use. You understand? Because I try for log on my laptop, the internet's not steady. You there with me? So we get to make sure say everything. If you remember, I talked about the infrastructure. Not to just say give people them food for eating this. Now long-term sustainability. Even when me time don't done, the next man will come and go say thank you very much. because the infrastructure all thing on there in place, where they can continue the legacy for achieve within with people in need. Not
Okay,
about me.
Thank you very much. La just draw you back, la pull you in that area there. I still get some of the interviews the way them we make, where you
Sure.
been granting interview to some journalists, and then where you been emphasized, you talk about maintaining law and order. You say because at the moment everybody is doing what he or she feel likes doing. So how you get for maintain law and order? What do you get for do? Because we dey see, for example, people like Sierra Leoneans they know more or less fed up with politicians because like all what you they talk to, some man don't talk pass so, right? So but the moment they get the power, you they see order from above. So how you get for ensure say like law and order, the law and order what you they talk about say una get for maintain how you get for ensure that?
Well, the first thing I want for say to you, yeah, politician them before me, them we don't talk that. Me no one day mix from politics. Nobody no go say I don't want the old office. All them politicians that we can talk, they all be the old office at some point in time, but they don't do nothing. So that is a clean distinction. The way they talk, and not just they talk like a politician, but they actually talk like a kumga. We self get picking them. So when me they see other people picking them, they suffer, they not look good to me. So me not to say I can't talk as a politician for need votes or something, or I be done day before then not guy for able for take that for come into space. No. We not a clean slate. I may come and say to you when we start the interview or simply say yes, we not a clean slate. We don't want anybody willing to carry on then can go fast away. Let we manage the way we don't manage. How far we don't go so far, we don't do extremely well. Until we may believe say okay for turn around the country. So not to a lofty promise. Yes, on the law and order, until we believe say you need law and order. And waiting one thing way say you lack. I will tell you now, we lack basic culture. Say you has no longer culture, a national culture. I mean, and not to say your tribal culture or maybe your village culture. We lack national culture. And for able to introduce the law and order, we get to make sure, say, one, we understand the national culture. Number two, we need to make sure, say, people respect the police respect the people. Vice versa. And number three, I don't believe, say, I'm men them for the work on the streets, people them for the work on the street with gun. You know, we not live in a time of war. We live in peaceful time. So gun for the in a barrack or gun for the in a police station. If there's an incident, we need for deploy the guns then can deploy that. Law and order, not to just simply say, okay, well, because people misbehave this and that, dynamic would get caught, we're independent. We believe, say, anybody where they arrest them for charge them within 24 hours, and they're not going to interview you without your legal representation not present. Then they're not go possible. So we introduce what we call the basic humanitarian right. So you can't be interviewed in a police station without your legal representative not there. The other thing back where me see a lot is that where somebody do something, now mob justice. You see even policeman, the candidate beats the man for let the man talk. Let it confess what say happen or happen. Then they will refer to as mob justice. That did not go happen under my watch. We get for respect each and every person. Every person get their own story. Things could happen. So on the law and the other side, we make sure say one, you get right to free access for legal representation. Two, the police go respect your rights. They not go just do what they feel like for do. Three, the civilian and then go respect the police them and then go able for make sure say what the police tell them for do make them do them. And four, then get forget a national culture. So we all man go know say yes, now this you for do, now this you not for do that one day. So that national culture then I see where we go introduce for make sure say it happen and people abide by that. So now some of them things that so now will bring come up. lay people are able to do that and able to encourage them so that we're able to move forward. So from that security side, the other thing back will go for expand on that, because you know, say security work in conjunction with welfare. So on the welfare side, we'll go for develop the welfare program. And the welfare program, not so a program where just they look at the civilians then, but they look at everybody at a national level, and not to just the people within a Sierra Leone, but the people as well with the outside within a Sierra Leoneans them. I make what they call them the welfare program. So when a Sierra Leonean leaves Sierra Leone, you benefits not a stop from Sierra Leone. It continue with you any country where you did to, where you go. If you get issues then, you're able for contact with, that's what we're able for look into. You can contact the embassy, that's where the embassy for able for look into that. If the embassy they're not able to find somebody who is suitable for you, let's say you involved in some brawl or something, and then let's say maybe they arrest you, they're not able to provide legal affairs for you, legal aid for you, we can provide that for you. Take for example, the Sierra Leoneans when we in America, for simple road traffic offense, they arrest the guy paralyzed. Would any Sierra Leoneans actually get involved in that? No. Now we where they around where people will say, oh, you know, this was so Amadou, you know, do nothing. He actually talked to the policeman there. But me don't know what's happen or happen. I'm not mean they so I don't go quote what they say. But they say the guy paralyzed. And that's not for the apple. If that be the other way around, so the foreigner mean that we don't consider that happen, then we don't sue with government. So we're not so saying that just Sierra Leone provide the law and order and security for, but we make sure say it follow them as long as you're Sierra Leonean.
Okay, thank you very much. Viewers on Then and Now, the new one, then we just start for view. You are welcome. And then this na interview what we do with Mr. BERESFORD Williams. We welcome una all, and then una can send any comment or message. We're ready for read them here. And now, Mr. Williams, I take you back to some of your past messages or what you've been saying. You grant several interviews in the past, like when will be the go through like your profile. You've been talk something about youth employment. For example, I quote for you in one report where you say the hindrance to youth in obtaining leadership positions are their level of education and their lack of self-belief and self-worth. Now, what did you take regarding the free quality education where the SLPP don't carry it? Then how you go juxtapose that with this your statement will be making now?
Well, for start off with free education, that's the way ReNIP'S starts. Now a policy we made in our last manifesto, and the current government SLPP they take that on board and then they implement that. So on that side, I will commend them, but they not go far enough. From people who don't talk with, they simply say the free education, the work, but you know the work the way it's supposed to work. Where something saying free for pay. They simply say they get for pay for the education. We even get members them we been there in a college, university, we don't get for drop out because they say they're not getting fees for pay. So I say, but na free education, you say what that tells you not free. You say the form self, now buy what they buy, and then say then give back with the money, and then not give you the money. So I don't know what side the free stop, but me no say university students them, then they pay. Me no say them picking away the primary school, secondary school, and say then they pay. We don't see people that don't come and say the free education, then get for pay for them picking and get for go pay I don't know, some fees them for let them picking go school. So education are a key for any country want for develop. When we come in power, when we simply say we provide free education, we mean free. So then they mean say whether which stage you did from nursery, you get free nursery, say right up to university level. And inside there, not to just say we stop there, we also don't develop a policy plan because some of the key areas them will get for develop, we're not getting skills then in a CLM because the faculties that we did they no fit for 21st century. You know, like say if one for talk now, say for begin do data analysis, so man go struggle. You know, a proper programming of games or software, a problem, na CLM. So then skills there, so na skills that we get for learn, maybe outside, you know, things like artificial intelligence. So when not to just say pull and come, we go don't look into that, but we go also look into for give people a scholarship. But you go get scholarship, not to say because you papa and a minister they can't get scholarship, they go study about. No, we own policy different. If you're not able to attain your first degree in a CLM before you get scholarship to go abroad, for go pursue a system in there for legal learn new things then. Yes, some people will get some genius then at the country we can able for use as well. We can give them scholarship then for let them go abroad.
Sorry for interrupt you, because I just want to take you back where the government
Sure.
they talk about free quality education. More or less, they talk about primary and secondary school. But we know say people they know they pay fees. And we know say back a lot of people then they're not enrolled in the school system. They know they pay fees. Granted that certain I think then they pay for certain things, I think bags and other stuff. So but the government they face some certain challenges in terms of finance. Because for say free education, like you know, for fund that free day, how many millions of people in a school? So how you get for improve that? We say they pull money because if they talk about free up to university level, that not to picking money than they. We say you go get that funding. We say they get that money there.
Okay, not to pick money, I agree with you. You see, you know, all they put in front of win a money business, but sometimes they not to money always they make sure say things happen. Okay. You get to invest in something for make something actually work. They want to people in this way to make people like the level of education I said very poor. Is that the teachers and first of all, I know they pay them well. Yeah, some of them where they don't go through them training, they not even get PIN because they get forget PIN. So the small teachers the way they get PIN when they work, then they overloaded. So then they tired and they stress. So the level of education at that level there is very poor. I can tell you this way also without any joke. If I put a teacher and a Pekin for making them take a basic exam when me Pekin they take over so, I guarantee you that they say me Pekin they beat them. You will see okay maybe he learn thing they do, but they can give the teacher can study it as well. What to make us say so is that even people we some of the people who are around me we did it they for construct basic sentence, yeah, all man can make grammatical error. That English not a first language. The way of thinking for be different as well. If you look the level, say some of them kids are within they take these exams now, and look at the skill charts when they produce, you can notice say the histogram they always move. So maybe this time they go say at 325, the next time they say at 335. Yeah, you're supposed to get a benchmark. So if we want to develop the country, we get to get a benchmark. Some of the syllabus the way we study not conducive. They're not fit. No, they're not fit for purpose. You for learn something way for able for perpetuate you into job or give you the ability for get job or provide jobs for other people. And not so something where they go learn when an abstract where it mean nothing.
Yeah, Mr.
So
Williams.
the syllabus yeah.
Yeah, but I think we are talking about how you they pull money for support free education from primary level up to university level. How you
Yes.
get that? Because we see similar thing where President Julius Maada Bio well means even they struggle a bit. For even answer that question, they for fund. But later we don't see it and they make effort. We see progress where we not go say 100%, but they are making progress here and there. So how you go, who say they get the money for implement such a project?
Yeah, I mean, they can be, because I can simply say the first thing they do, they change the syllabus so it fit for purpose. And point number 2, get for increase the teachers and salary. So now let we reverse back the money where then they receive in itself as school fees. Now for do maintenance on the school there. So most of the schools there, so the maintenance where they happen now they happen by the old boys associations then or old girls associations then. So ex-pupils then, that then they do most of this renovation now, of course. So me don't know who side the schools them they spend in cash. I'm not going for comments on that. But what me go guarantee you is that 1, the teachers them go well paid. We the increase teachers them because we go don't get more coffer in. Once you open up your economy, yeah, you bound for get more revenue in taxes. Then they tell you that when you got a tight economy, you they lack funds. You know they get enough tax. Like now, so Sierra Leone, you know they get enough tax. Wait, you know, because the economy not open up. So we open up the economy. If you remember, I simply say when we come for the first 90 days, we make sure we stabilize the food control, the food prices, and the fuel prices, and that will allow we give you the opportunity for open up the economy. Once you open up the economy, you go investors them in. We don't believe in investors, we believe in business partners. We refer to as business partners. So when they come in, is that if the senior management team can come in, but then for able to employ all locals. We not again all working permits for local jobs then. With people in the country, then for work. So that's then they open up the space. If you look, most of these jobs that were in the gear out, then they even pull them, come on at their own country for can do local jobs then, for can even do cleaning job. You want to say Saloma not able for clean? So this is not the thing then. So then when the space don't open up, we begin get more cash when they come in. And that cable for help way for me could provide free education for people. I mean, you take the almost not the budget for education on the teacher side, then they underpay them. That's when they complain, because even the last time, then they seem say some teachers then that only 400,000, they cannot even get the minimum wage because of the level. So we make sure say all money at the same level, and then we open up the space. So we believe say we came for generate cash there, and as we program they develop, the industrialization program they develop, cash back there for the come from that angle there. So most of the debt we believe say within 7 to 8 years, we don't pay that debt they off. Sierra Leone for be cash free. So we not go for good course. We be able to sustain we safe.
Well, thank you very much. We'll not get much time again, but we get so many areas to cover. Like, what will be your policies, like on agriculture? Because if they talk about for changing the lives of people, now we're not even able for feed ourselves. And then now, like, what in your policy in the area of agriculture? What do you get for change so that we go able to feed ourselves?
Mr. Barry, like I've been saying before earlier on, we get so many people we not they in employment, they not in employment or education or training. One thing is that agriculture is a key area in Sierra Leone, but not for me, not a paramount area. So a key area, we'll get for develop massively. We don't actually source out roughly about 9 to 10,000 acres of land when a government land. We fertile, very fertile ground. We'll be able to plow that ground there, not to just rest, we go make the plants there. With rest, we'll be able to turn that around anything between 90 days and 120 days. Yeah, good rest them. What would they do? We get no chemical. We'll be able to do that one. We'll be able to feed with people. And now we own country. We not they stop for the import.
Now we start the export.
Now it's only there. It is not the north.
Okay.
There's another part back where they just between the north and the east. We that place that we don't highlight. We don't mark them. Very fertile land then. So People are waiting at the youth then, and most of them not get job. We dey employ them and go work there. We dey teach them. Then make they go first into training. Then make we say we introduce this apprenticeship. Apprenticeship not to just say, okay, they go learn for read and write, but get for learn trade. And then in a trade for the growers. But we know they go put all resource in one basket. No, we not believe in that. So now a top area we'll go for look into the agricultural system. The industrialization system now on that top area we'll go for look into where they run in conjunction. We're able to generate more cash. So within 90 days, like what we simply say, we don't stabilize food prices. Me no know some governments say then get some agricultural program, then produce rest in the country, but rest price still go up. I don't know how that they work. You understand? But my own brain, I'm not able to calculate that. So it not work for the nation. The dynamic we simply say we are a socialism party. A socialism party put the people in front of anything else before gain or profit.
Yeah, but like again, we know like what you they talk so that rest will know, but is it Toma bomb way government be they say they don't begin work, will not say anything. But even though now with the president they tell we say make people engage another time, this time they invest more in agriculture because you see that we know they do mechanized farming. So how, because you say you just employ people, but like it is not too clear how that will yield that benefits where Sierra Leoneans them go benefit. Because are you going to introduce mechanized farming or now which kind type of farming you get for embark on?
Well, we embark on two types of farming. When in the plants, guys, you get for use what you call, you get the dynamic who say the rest you get two types. So you get the 90 to 120 days where we don't study, we don't work on that. It take place like a Bama, then the plant rest with the hand, but then get sufficient rest then. When they know the import. The same Philippines, then they use both the mechanized ones and the manual labor. The manual labor they yield more than the mechanized one. What's making it yield more? Because you get for plants this the rest not the ground and it germinates quicker because you get the layers then. The mechanized can come, you plow the ground, you come in, you plant them. So we they use both. Yes. We simply say yes, most of these youth under the hybrid, we say under the hybrid, most of these people are so they're not getting nothing. So the government they put them on payroll. Yeah. As long as we they make with the farm, we they sell them back to people and begin export again, because when they do that day before, I mean, not see no reason waiting for make with the import. Me not see no reason waiting make me not able to get price control. Me not see no reason waiting for make me see somebody go sleep, eat. Like one day when me go up, but somebody tell me this lady say in family not eat for good 6 months, not eat sober meal. When you say sober meal, cook meal, they're not able for eat them. So on the agricultural side, until we get in place, we don't work on that. We're able to manage that and deliver that. On the other side, we now the industrialization side, we done in a key area free running, we able to get things within say within a few months, we're able to deliver quickly. Yeah, so me I should say we can able to get things up and running as soon as possible, and not to just soon as possible, but also for able to deliver. Now delivery, nine are my own key targets. Okay, somebody say let them get another time. I'm not gonna starve. Then you can tell me say, okay, well, allow me again, like I work back for you, but you still not pay me. Let me say go try out. Me go ask people let them lend me and vote. And these are the guarantee them say within 3 years, if we're not able to deliver what we say, me and my ministers they all would resign.
So that
either caretaker government come or we call fresh election.
That take me to another question. Now you political party no able to fulfill in all, like for say MPs. I don't know how many percent of the country you political party don't get candidate for their MPs, councillors. So how can a political party we no able fill in then space here all go win na Sierra Leone?
Well, we even call for the PR system, and then when the PR system come, they actually change them. Before them, you simply say that you pay for tier 1, then when tier 2 activated, then you pay for tier 2. But then at the last minute, then change the dynamics again, because we always vet with candidates them. We get most of the males, then we get MPs them as well. You see, you don't need MPs for make you rule Sierra Leone or rule any country, because your ministers them can be appointed, and we not believe in putting square peg in a round hole. I don't believe in that. If you remember what you will simply say, that we believe in people's ability to deliver, integrity and accountability. So you can be a civilian, even this current government, half of the ministers then not to MPs, but they get a talent. So you can use people with the talents for deliver.
Yeah, but
just being a presidential.
Sorry for interrupt, but you now
Sure.
them people here, you forget key people them na certain constituency across the country where they help for sell your ideology. So if you not get, let's say for example, na Falaba, or you not get people like Kailaum, you not get people like Kenema, you know, they know how you feel say them go sabi you take, then go vote for you day. Where you not get strong people them na the society.
Yeah. We do get strong people across the country. Like I mentioned to you, we will face some few issues then, especially when it may come for become a block system again for put the blocks them. So on the mayor side, we'll be able to run some of them through. Some of the district people as well, we run some through, but some of them fell off because issues well known to them in the areas then. Like if Falaba, we're able to fit in all ministerials there, kind of do as well. Put local, we able for with more or less kind of fit everything in, but because now the block system, some people let the other people in down, so some of them get for go as independent because of the block system. But across the 16 districts in Sierra Leone, we get strong people with the advocate the ideology, because this is not just an ideology where sits at a central level, but it also they be pushed down to other areas then across the country. So each and every person and they able for body ideology, and each and every people and they able for understand what you will stand for. And what you they do is that then they said they can go and go talk na radio them, TV, just for able for let people begin get conversant with this the policies that we will come up with for able for change the country. So that make we can always they ask them, make the length with their votes and let them see what they can do. And me a policy way I know one day involved in politics. So me believe that we will be able to deliver, and we can deliver quite well. Yes, you go see what the other politicians then they know about them. Yes, then we don't they not let me get the opportunities, then they not do them. Not to now then they can't do them. You know, in fact, now they now say they can relax because they know say that the team don't done so. So I make who they tell people make them give opportunities to the fresh blood now. Let we change the dynamics and see.
Okay, lastly, Mr. Williams, I want to thank you first very much, and then I want to thank the viewers for the time we they don't take for watch the program, and then we ask them for share and likes, then in the But now, let I ask you this question: if it happens for BC, APC, and SLPP go into runoff, whose one you support?
Well, at the moment, I don't know, because you see, the last when they may go into runoff, both parties actually approach ReNIP and simply say, I know we don't want office, we don't want anything, but what we want for the nation, let them guarantee me, say they can provide clean drinking water for every street in Sierra Leone, Even if no reach na the house, let streets pump then all the streets then. Let people able forget water. They say no go for do. I say, but we get woman. We prove that way for able for do. This not to see way I for ask for. I say because even if una there so, una they use water for was. I say even if una they travel, una they see you go some side, you dey open pump for able for get clean drinking water. I say now they me ask for. I put unto in front of them too. Then tell me categorically unable. So hence, I tell me members they learn with free vote. Yeah.
Okay.
But this time we're not gonna do that. This time we're not gonna do that.
Okay, sorry for that interruption. We just get a message on the screen where somebody say make we ask you about the blackface ID cards. What are you take on that?
Well, I mean that's what we didn't talk about because the guy with Prince you don't kinda the newspaper himself talk say the amount we then get and the amount we make as profit, you know better. So whether something happen, because in all honesty, if ECSL give contract to somebody, able for deliver because the person go don't get a sample. Not to say you just can't turn up one day, can bring all a bunch of card because the card first of all them be late for come. Not to say you go just turn up with the bunch of card, then we they see somebody in face day or not clear. Then you accept that because not to paper money and pay the man with, not to monopoly money. That's why the man say no make money. Some business they make profit, some business they don't make profit. So maybe don't ask for the anti-corruption. Let them investigate that. What's happen?
Okay, so now would they hear some talk them, even though we not see official press release from any of the political parties, but would they hear some party then say they're not going to go into elections with these ID cards? So what in your party in position regarding that? You ready for going to election with or without these cards? Or
well, you see, the thing is I don't know how the electoral process can go. If I know I can able for confirm. The reason just hold on, we'll finalize that. Which make us say so? Because say when would they do nomination then? Yeah, when you put your number, the person name automatically all in details they come up. We go register, all things they come up. But what for me don't do is that when in design, I make it simply say, like a way the IT issue, that problem, the infrastructure not did. Like when you put your number, so what if you see automatically pop up, you face for pop up because let me take your picture. So when they go vote, I don't know, you say now show them where they go show your card and then scribe your name and the paper. Or then they use electronically, we go scan them, then your face will come up. Because now the only way that one day it will be true and fair and transparent. Because if somebody takes somebody in card for go vote, you're not going to tell that much. Because one, the observer the way they did not going for look the card in detail. Two, you get barcode there. So the barcode, we don't know what in the barcode is for. So that make it simply say we don't know it waiting at the mechanism. Maybe that barcode in the way you each night they go scan, then all the details pop up in your face. So if that one day if your face pop up there, then we get law. If you commit electoral fraud, you go jail. The police then you break the law. Then they go arrest you for that. So I see where you get for work in the long term. So me don't know see waiting at the current procedure. Yeah, so that's the way ECSL for explain to we.
Yeah, okay, yeah, because what in can my mind where they say you don't emphasize, say you don't know, but now you get just few almost a little over a month to elections, then there are certain things where you don't know and you want to become a president. So I wonder how you feel say you voters then will get confidence. Especially the one day we want to support you, then we say, but this man not even know actually how this thing they operate or how it protect we on vote if you don't know how certain things they operate.
Okay, when I say I don't know, now this is that when the ECSL they ask you for go vote, whether then they scan because that barcode, they're not telling anybody what's in the barcode. For me, normally when you get barcode, now scanning they scan the barcode. You picture all things they come up. Straight away, you name and you picture all things they come up. So ECSL not come out categorically saying that this they happen. But me suspected that. I know can also can tell you say, well, and who's can then that not happen. Point number 2, not to meeting in government or give ECSL the mandate for do that. Now the government give that the mandate. We don't write a letter for make ECSL give us the process, who's kind of machine and the use. So once then they come in, we can able for say, well, now you barcode you get for use. Because the only solution, because if you notice all the 2 cards them, the previous cards them and this current card, these only changes what it gets beside the picture, now the barcode. And that barcode they apparently it capture all your details then. So me believe say then go use a scanning machine where you able for tally. Almost people can register, almost people and vote. So in the center, you know almost people and go vote. Your name go come up, your face go come up. Maybe I make them do it this way. So if me can simply say, well, I know, nobody no know. Let's tell you now, Mr. Barry.
Okay, so lastly, I get just 2 questions for you. Lastly, because
sure.
Again, I want to thank you again on behalf of Sierra Leoneans with the watch we and you support us them as well for the time where you take for answer a question. Maybe some of the question, maybe I don't know whether they are annoying or not, but at least we are doing this for you to for make you clarify, for make people
Sure.
understand really what your party stand for, and so that they will able to make an informed decision when they go to that ballot box. So now, ECSL, I think them is supposed to publish names of the registered people. They don't do that.
No names of registered people, because the names of registered people and until you can always get that after. You therefore able for published the number. Because if you publish names now, the breach of data security, personal information. Yeah, so you're not going to do that. So now all the public figures, then you can publish the names and the address system. So then for publish the numbers, then which then we say they don't publish the numbers, they will register. So then give the total, the tally. But the tally will not give it. Now the amount of people we don't go collect, then card them, and the amount of card they would then still hold on to. We not get that tally date. Yeah, and do an interview where actually from our own speculation we will do the calculation. That is that we actually estimated, say roughly, then still hold on to about anything between 1.2 to 800,000 cards, then and still hold on to that. But then just a rough statistics calculation where you can do, but then it can be wrong. It can be vastly inflated or reduced. Either way, it's not accurate. So, but ECSL not come out until we say now this amount of people don't collect their ID cards them. Now this amount of ID cards them we still hold on to. And the other thing as well, we not confirm, because when you do printing, sometimes some of the cards then can malfunction. So because a computer based, they push and go through the system, maybe there's a glitch. They not tell you if there's any glitch. So that ain't 2 areas and they may think say that the public for no, but they're not going to publish the name. May not go allow that, because just imagine them publish your name and address.
Yes, sorry, I think that's just a mistake. Instead of saying because for if whether they don't publish the figures and the breakdowns like per district and then
correct. Yeah,
okay,
they not publish that.
Yeah, so who's guarantee you they give you supporters then? This is not the final question. For say them votes not going to be wasted, you they protect. If them vote for you, you able to protect your vote.
Well, the one thing I can always say is that first of all, I will simply say, lend me your vote, give me your vote. What make you know they say give me your vote is that if you give vote, you not hold me to responsibility, to account. So when you lend me your vote, you always hold me back to accountability. Now the difference that one day, in case people don't know, if you trust somebody money, you go check from the guy, you say, me man, how business they go. Yeah, but if you give somebody money, you know they check on them again. So me know they ask somebody and give me them votes. I they say let them lend me them votes. So then go hold me accountable for my actions. Me go guarantee you say yes, I will protect you because I lent me you vote. I get for make sure say I return that back to you because I lent, not to give. Number two, there's a process in place. If we think say things not go according to plan, there's a process, steps that we'll get for take, where you able for see. Number three, now things they open up, where you able for in theory, if we simply say things not happen correctly, then can do a recount. So that's not an assurance, say you vote not go waste. Number four is that no matter what happen, ReNIP will always protect you. We've been a push out. Now we are the only party who don't push out for minimum wage increase. Now we are the only party who don't push out for fuel subsidy in the current government. We don't lobby them. We don't do everything. We even send private member bill at parliament. They not read them. So at least they forgive you that opportunity. They make we try now say we send go parliament, let we run the country, let we make this difference change once and for all. Because I guarantee you this was so most of we will now really listen to this program. If things not change, most of we not go see the end of the year. Then they guarantee you that. Most people who me there so yesterday, they don't go. Not to say that in time to reach, na starvation. You're not able to forget the basic nutrition for their soul, for make them live as a human being. So me they appeal to anybody. If you even say no one doing anything, but let we take control of our life, let we take control of our destiny. Let we forget about this tribalism, let we forget about what we believe in, let we forget about how we say well at this or that. Let we believe one thing. Because I know when they say anybody go hospital, he go ever ask the doctor who's tribe be, who say you come on. Which is the only thing that the doctor are sick, you do even many. When you get legal problem, and nobody know they ask that problem there. When you want food, you better know they ask you whose country you there. It tells you how I eat. Even today, I'm in a meeting when me belly grumble. You understand? Now, the guy say you angry. I say, yeah, it's not the angry. I didn't catch you. So I said, no. I say just because I know me get me breakfast while like becoming the one late. So I just try to tell people and say, no matter who that you be, they angry, they come. And when come, if you not feed them, it paralyze you. It will make sure say you not get that energy the way you need for sustain yourself. And I make you believe say not to just now for come and can get lofty talk them, or can get big talk, or say somebody can't talk past you, or somebody may not talk past this. No, we don't believe in that. We don't want to do politics. I don't want to join no political party. Now, ReNIP is the only party with members they don't want to join any party then. Now, people will get unique idea, we all come together for make this change. So let nobody not say they're not sending or we don't need another party, they na break away, like this. No. We don't want to do politics, me not to break away. None of my members they not to break away. We can genuinely for help the country. And we don't want the own no position. Now we need that the only party, we don't want the old any position as a and we're ready for turn around the country. Waiting do because we got the energy, we got the vigor, we're not corrupted, we're not mixed by any rikishi. So trust in me and make sure say you lend me your vote. I guarantee you back, say I will repay back that vote day. And I will give you back everything that you need.
Okay, thank you very, very much. That's you don't make a brilliant contribution. And then we really look forward for bring you back, maybe likely before the elections, because we get other areas we'll get for cover.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure, that's very good.
Absolutely, what a brilliant conversation, and I like the way Sekou John ended that we'll have to bring Mr. Beresford Victor Williams back because there are many other areas for cover. Example, waiting we've been keen on understanding is how you go fund most of these projects. You talk about opening up the economy, but that's there's ambiguity there. And probably you need to be given further opportunity, for let you expand on how you go open up because we know areas are there which you can tap into, for example, the tourism industry, the fishing or maritime industry, waiting at the policies them around that. Rest, would they spend tons of millions on importing with staple food. And this has been like decades. And I know Mr. Williams touched on that, which was brilliant. that they have identified hectares and hectares of acres of land where we can utilize and try for bring this thing into fruition. Government after government on the fail way. But having said this, you know, a brilliant interview, and Mr. Williams, such an eloquent, you know, person. But we hope for bring you again in soon, you know, yeah, for grill you even better, because this that we supposed for they do for whole authorities or those we want for be we leaders them into account. I want to say thank you very much for appearing on it then and now for the very first time, but not the last time. And Sekou John, I want to commend you for taking on Mr. You know, yeah, Beresford, which I believe you even mentioned that, you know, it sounded a little bit embarrassing, but as smart as he is, he will understand, because that was quite a necessity. I thank you guys both. Thank you so much. And viewers, this has been another Then and Now production. Tomorrow, will not forget for tuning, we get, I believe, another smart guy in person of Arthur Pias, who was once with the NGC, but now it don't defect. Or we can use semantics, because now the new age now, the new talk na tongue now. We're passing come up from one party to the other. You can call them progressive or whatever. But Arthur Pias will be on the platform tomorrow, and we go get for hold them into account as well for let you explain to we waiting at the way forward. One last time, Beresford, thank you so much and good luck, brother.
Okay, thank you guys. I appreciate your time and effort and everything. Yeah, and I hope in all honesty, I'm not being feel embarrassed or anything. The questions them, like very genuine questions them, they gonna people in mind, and you're not a loudspeaker. So if you're not supposed to be the spokesman, then I don't think you could do a good journalism in itself. So now your own position for make sure say I'm come across more clearly and no divert on stuff them way people then get concerns about. So for me, I'm used to that practically every day. And people can ask questions them, not just in politics, but helping other businesses, them government organizations around the world. It's part of and parcel of my life. So yeah, thank you very much. I do enjoy the interview, and definitely we'll catch up again and able for digest on fewer things. Then we'll see find time in the diary, we'll able for fit things into, and we'll also look for plan for launch room manifesto, which I will send on as well, so I'm able for look into that and then see what you want for deliver into the country in itself. So I want to use the opportunity again for thank not just to the host and the co-host, but as well as the public, because they're the main people, because in everything we do, it's about them. And I just want to say thank you very much anywhere, anybody there. They'll just take life easy and all shall be well very soon.
Thank you. And Salon Fambulem, this effectively brings to an end of another brilliant run of interview towards the run for State House. Be smart, search for the truth is out there, but you have to make an effort. With future, a lie in we hands. And I believe at some point in this interview, Mr. Beresford Victor Williams did emphasize on that. Until we catch up again very soon as tomorrow, please don't forget for joining me and please share this video wide and far. Goodbye.